G'day cocktail lovers. My all-time favourite cocktail is the Old Fashioned, or variants of an Old Fashioned, and I thought, why not make a Christmas themed Old Fashioned, which is what I have here, and I'm just going to get a little taste of the Christmas cheer. It's really good. Now I have to admit I'm being a little naughty because I can say with quite a high degree of confidence you're not going to have the ingredients I used to make this. I didn't make a cocktail with hard to get local ingredients to be mean. I'm hoping to inspire you. There are 3 different spirits in this Old Fashioned and they're Christmas themed, or they've got Christmas flavors associated with Christmas. And what I'm betting is somewhere near you there'll be independent bottlers, distillers who are making really good stuff, and you should go and seek it out. Or you might just get some novelty stuff from a bottle shop as well. I don't know how confusing that is to people around the world when I refer to a bottle shop. A liquor store, a place where you buy alcohol. All of the spirits in this Old Fashioned are made at distilleries within about 1.5 hours drive of where I live. This one is a brandy. It's made every Christmas by the Bass and Flinders distillery, and that's out along what we call the Mornington Peninsula here in Melbourne. They mainly make gins, they make brandies, and they just make this at Christmas, and it's really good. They've basically included all those great Christmas flavors in the distillation, and I tend to buy 2 bottles of this at Christmas because it's so yummy and you can only get it there, and that tends to last me until the next Christmas. There's also a Christmas gin. This is from the 4 Pillars distillery. They release a Christmas gin every year. This is actually from 2 years ago. This is the 2022 Christmas gin. They also work with an artist to get the unique label for it every year. They literally make this, when they're distilling the gin, they have Christmas pud, their mum's recipe, in the distilling process, and you see it's a very deeply coloured gin. It's not a clear gin at all, and it's really tasty on its own, but it's working well with the others. The 3rd spirit is my most recent acquisition from the Starward distillery. They call it panettone. Now this is their 2-fold whiskey. That's essentially their entry-level whiskey, and it's normally aged in red wine barrels. In this case, they've finished it in export barrels. Well, it's Australian, so we call it Apera in Australia because of European naming laws. To translate for the rest of the world, this was aged in export barrels. And they decided this has the flavors of the Italian dessert panettone. That might be influenced by the founder, David Vitale at Starward, is of Italian descent. But yeah, panettone, the Italian Christmas cake. So 3 very Christmassy spirits in there. Even the sugar syrup I'm using is Christmassy. This is my special spiced apple brown sugar syrup. I've got videos showing how to make it. In essence, slice up an apple or 2, cover it in brown sugar. The brown sugar will liquefy. Then you toast some cooking spices in a saucepan. That's whatever you have. And I use, listen, yes, cinnamon, nutmeg, star anise, cloves, allspice. But use whatever Christmas cooking spices you have. Get them toasted so the flavors are coming out, and then add the syrup to it, simmer it, maybe add a bit of water, and then simmer it for a while, and then strain it out, and you get this fantastic brown sugar syrup that has those great cooking spice flavors in it. I even went a bit extra on the bitters. Rather than just using Angostura or other aromatic bitters, I've got 1 dash each of orange bitters, cranberry bitters, and black walnut bitters. This is seriously fairly extra for an Old Fashioned, which is traditionally a pretty simple cocktail. Those are all the ingredients. I don't regret being extra for a second because this tastes really good, and you even get the aromas coming up off it when you bring it up to drink. It's really good. I thoroughly recommend you try making something similar. Here's how I made it. In a mixing glass, put 1/4 ounce or 7.5 mils of your sugar syrup, then 3/4 ounce or 22.5 mils of your brandy. Follow that with 3/4 ounce or 22.5 mils of your gin, and then 3/4 ounce or 22.5 mils of the whiskey. Then I'm doing 1 dash of orange bitters, 1 dash of cranberry bitters, and 1 dash of black walnut bitters. Add ice to the glass, stir that for 20 to 25 seconds to chill and dilute the drink, and I'm straining that into a rocks glass of a big chunk of sexy clear ice, and using my favourite Old Fashioned garnishes, a twist of orange peel and a maraschino cherry on a skewer. For me, it's always a good time to have an old fashioned, and it's a lot of fun to experiment with. This one has a lot of the flavours associated with traditional European Christmas, which is kind of what we get brought up on here in Australia. They're a bit more multicultural now than when I was a kid. We all pretended we were from England when I was a kid, and so in the middle of summer, like when it's 40 Celsius or 100 Fahrenheit, we'd be having hot food and stuff that's associated with winter. Still kind of doing it, but I'll have an old fashioned anytime. This one's particularly good. I recommend you try something similar for your Christmas drinks this year. Get a bit creative, have a bit of fun, work with what you've got and see how it comes out, because I'm always in favour of experimentation. I'm always in favour of an old fashioned. And I'm always in favour of you joining me as I make cocktails, and I'll be back with more. I hope you're back to see that. But wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you're taking care. And until I see you again, cheers.